Raiders just moments ago. The fans standing and cheering their hometown favorites as the Oakland Raiders defense was introduced to the crowd. Take a look at some of the scores from the early games in the NFL this afternoon. And some top teams from last season going down to defeat. Denver Broncos are 0-3. The New York Jets are now 0-3. We're for the kickoff. The Bears to receive. Husted kicking to Glenn Milburn at the 1. The NFC's leading return man breaks through a hole, spins away, and then is brought down with an ankle tackle at the 25-yard line. Charles Mincy made the stop on Glenn Milburn. And the Chicago Bears come on offense, and they have been great in the first half of each of their first 2 games, led by the quarterback Shane Matthews in his 3rd NFL start. Olin Kreutz, the center, the big change, Jerry Disney playing for the injured Blake Brockemeyer at left tackle. Enos and Halleck in the backfield, Ingram and Conway the wide receivers, Alonzo Mays at tight end. And Matthews on first down, just off the hands of Curtis Conway. Eric Allen covering on the play. For the Raiders, their defense very strong in the middle. 2 great tackles, Russell Maryland and Darrell Russell. Lance Johnstone is an excellent pass rusher. Greg Biekert, the middle linebacker, the anchor of those linebackers. K.D. Williams, a first-year man. Eric Allen and Charles Woodson at the corners. Eric Turner, Anthony Newman, the safety. 2 tight ends in for the Bears. Enos carrying. Gets up to about the 28-yard line, where he's brought down.
Sam, Chicago, as you've seen, as you had to rush through those lineups, they're very fast tempo. They get in and out of the huddle. They get to the line of scrimmage. It's a quick snap count, and they change personnel groupings all the time. You're going to see the Chicago Bears change offensive personnel groupings every single play. That really keeps the defense on their toes. Look at the play clock. Look how fast when they get up to the ball, that thing's going to come out.
Out of the shotgun, 3 wide receivers in. They have to get to the 35 for a first down. Marcus Robinson in motion, and flag goes down. It'll be against the Bears.
Yeah, well, they were messed up from the get-go because they let that clock run down to under 10 seconds. They normally don't do that. They got in the shotgun, and they had some motion problems, and then
before the snap, false start, offense, number 71, 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Yeah, Big Cat jumped off sides a little bit, and the crowd noise here, the Raiders crowd, the Raider Nation, they're loud. They're loud, they're aggressive, and it's tough for those tackles outside to listen to the quarterback, especially when he's in shotgun.
Now the Bears come with 4 wide receivers. Again, they have to get to the 35 for a first down. It's 3rd and 12. Matthews checking. Everybody out. And he throws for a first down to Marcus Robinson. The former NFL Europe star, Marcus Robinson, has won himself a good spot on this team, a big wide receiver.
Yeah, that's about the longest pass I've seen them throw all since the season started. There's Marcus Robinson here, and he gets to the first down marker and just stops. Eric Allen keeps running. He's got man coverage on the outside. He wanted to make sure he didn't get beat deep, and Marcus Robinson just threw the brakes on.
17-yard pickup, first down Bears at the 40. Everybody out again, and Matthews throws and completes underneath. Up across midfield to Macy Brooks, another big receiver, who goes 6'5", 215, first-year man out of James Madison.
Gary Croton, offensive coordinator right here. He's the guy that installed this. He was the head coach at Louisiana Tech last year, and that's why everyone's calling this offense a college offense. But what it is, it's just they evaluated the talent, Sam, in the offseason. They came in, they saw what they had, and this offense with the ball coming out fast makes it easy for the offensive line and easy for the quarterback.
3 wide receivers in, the handoff inside to Curtis Enos. No gain on the play. James Harris, the left end, number 93, made the tackle for the Raiders.
You're going to see a lot of bodies come in and out of the sidelines, both for the Raiders and for Chicago. For defensively, Willie Shaw is going to try to match with him personnel-wise. You don't want to get caught in 4 wide receivers with your base personnel out on the field. So he has to try to match up with them.
Now the Bears go 3 tight ends. And the handoff to Enos, and he's stopped in the backfield. Darrell Russell, number 96. Third-year man out of Southern Cal. They are tough inside. The Raiders' tackles are as tough a pair as you'll find in the league.
Yeah, Russell got a good jump on the ball. We'll see the guys coming in. Here comes Macy Brooks in.
Darian Gordon came in.
Nickelback came in from the side.
There's another third and long for the Bears. They have to get to the Oakland 39 for a first down. They go screen pass to Enos. He's got some blockers. He's hit and he bounces off. Enos still fighting, gets a first down. What a run by Curtis Enos after the catch. Great effort by Curtis Enos. Finally, Anthony Newman took him out. One
of their favorite plays is the screen play. They run it from all different formations. Here's the set with the lineman. They get downfield, and Enos underneath. But then after this initial burst here, then it's all Enos. He's just making something out of nothing, running to daylight and running through people.
22-yard pickup. Bears a first down at the Oakland 32. Halleck and Enos in the backfield. Enos follows Halleck and falls forward for about 2 on the play. Darrell Russell grabbed him from behind.
Sam, you see this fast tempo, this fast pace. It's tough defensively to match up and play. You never really get a grasp, and you get lined. You're in this position, you're in that position. The corners are running in, the safeties are coming out. They're running all over the place, and that leaves a little bit of hesitancy in you. You don't feel confident, and you don't come full speed.
James Allen, number 20, has come in at the running back position. 9th play of the drive for the Bears. Robinson in motion. Matthews, plenty of time, and the pass was tipped, and it's incomplete. He had a man open, intended for Curtis Conway. He was open, but it was tipped.
Well, you want to get your hands up. When you have a quarterback that's going to, the ball's going to come out hot. Watch the defensive lineman. They're going to get a push. They watch them get their hands up. See right there? Even outside, you get in the passing lane and you get your hands up, because you're not always going to be able to get to them because that ball's coming out so fast.
Another third and long for the Bears. They've got to get to the 22. Again, the short. Drop out of the backfield. This one will not pick up the first down. The Raiders have it covered. The pass to Ryan Wetnight, the tight end. And the field goal kicking unit comes on. And one-time Raider Jeff Jager comes on for his first action of the season. He's been out with a hip injury since preseason. Ryan Gowans, who kicked last week and missed the game-winning attempt at the end of the game, was released and re-signed this week to the practice squad. This is a 48-yard attempt. And now the officials step in. Ed Hockey, 10-year veteran official, is the referee. Don't know what this is all about, Bill. They're deciding where to spot the ball, which hash mark. Now they set it. Sauerbrunn, the holder. 48-yard attempt for Jeff Jager, his first attempt of the season. And he hooks it wide. The Bears had a good drive. It stalled at the 30. Jager misses. No score in the game. There's John Gruden, the youngest head coach in the NFL, his second season as Raiders head coach. And this season, he said the emphasis is on at home. They'd like to be 7-1 at least on home.
Well, you know, he knows that any good team that's capable of going to the playoffs has to be a dominant team at home.
Tyrone Wheatley was picked up in the offseason just prior to the start of training camp from Miami, is in the backfield. He ran well last week against Minnesota. John Ritchie is the fullback. Tim Brown in motion, and Rich Gannon off the play fake, has time and delivers to Brown all the way across the field. Short pickup, about 5 on the play. Terry Cousin made the tackle. Rich Gannon 12-year veteran out of Delaware. He was with Kansas City last season, signing with the Raiders. Mo Collins and Lincoln Kennedy, two strong tackles. Gennaro DiNapoli starting for the first time this season. Tim Brown, James Jett, the wideouts. Ricky Dudley is the tight end. Napoleon Kaufman, the speed back, is now in as the lone setback. Gannon throws, and it's knocked down. Good. Oh, flag goes in on Walt Harris. Going to get called for interference. Ooh, that's close.
Playing the ball through the back, Sam. That was his mistake. Watch Walt Harris right here, and watch him come through the back of James Jett.
Pass interference. Defense, number 27. The ball's placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Ball is spotted at the 44-yard line of the Bears. Bears were guilty of 13 penalties last week. They talked about it a lot in team meetings this week. Two tight ends in for Oakland. Kaufman, the lone setback. Napoleon Kaufman bumped into his own man. Flag is down. Kaufman with a good gain, but that's going to be brought back, I believe. It's a holding call against Oakland.
I believe that's going to be on the left tackle, Mo Collins. Russell Davis got some great push, the defensive end for the Chicago Bears, number 95. Got some great push and penetration on him, Sam. And then Mo kind of grabbed him by the shirt.
Holding. Offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty. Repeats down.
Watch him right here. He's going to get pushed straight back. And see his hands outside? See his hands there? Are they outside? That's the one thing the officials are really going to look for this year. When your hands get outside, they immediately have to come back inside the breast.
Good push by the defensive end, the rookie Russell Davis. He's played well for the Bears. Ball back to the Oakland 46-yard line. Kaufman, the lone setback. Everybody out. Gannon completes to Tim Brown. The all-time leading receiver of the Raiders is down at the 35-yard line. Sean Harris made the tackle. Tim Brown off to a good start this season.
Yeah, watch 92.
Catch.
I'm sorry, Sam. Watch 92 Minter. He comes up. He follows Napoleon Kaufman out to the flat, and that leaves a big crease in there. And that's tough for the corner to come back inside when Brown's running that slant.
Pickup of 18 on the play. Randy Jordan, number 28, has come in at running back spot. Three wide receivers for the Raiders. On 2nd and 2, Terry Mickens in motion. Kaufman into the pile. Short pickup on the play. Excuse me, that was Randy Jordan on, and they lost the ball. Bears think they have it. And the unpile, and they do.
How about that?
Randy Jordan, on his first carry of the game, fumbles. The Bears recover. The third turnover of the season for the Oakland Raiders. Sean Harris recovered the fumble for the Bears. We'll step out for a moment. 7:38 to go in the first. On the line of scrimmage, their second possession. Shane Matthews is 4 for 6 and has completed to 4 different receivers. Last week connected with 10 different receivers. Outside of Conway, and he's stripped of the football. And the Raiders have it right back.
This is another one of those variations of the screen. They get the ball outside, and then they bring their tackles and linemen and receivers out there. Conway just loses the balls. He doesn't have a good grasp of it. Johnson, 51, gets a swat on it. But it just didn't look like Conway had a good grasp on the ball.
Johnstone scripted. Eric Turner on the recovery. And that is the 8th takeaway for the Oakland Raiders season. They're +5 in takeaways, giveaways. Dick Duran, the rookie head coach of the Chicago Bears. Kaufman and Ritchie in the backfield from the Bears 41. Brown in motion. They hand it to Kaufman. Nice moves, and he's down at about the 35-yard line. Breaks one more tackle, and it becomes a long gainer. Tony Parrish made the stop.
They had a fake reverse on. They had the fake reverse on at the back, and then they handed it to Napoleon Kaufman underneath.
And now Tyrone Wheatley comes in, the power runner. Wheatley, a former first-round draft pick of the Giants. They sent him to Miami. Did not stick there. Here's Wheatley carrying. Got about a yard on the play. At the 35, Sean Harris brought him down. Harris is off to a great start at middle linebacker. That's a good move for the Bears, switching Harris over to middle linebacker.
Well, it was a good move for Harris because they wanted to get him in there. They thought physically he was better suited to play middle linebacker. But they also thought at the same time they could slide Minner outside and it'd be better fitted for him. But Minner struggled outside a little bit. At the weak side back position, they thought he'd be flowing to the ball quicker and use his speed more. But he hasn't been the player they thought he could be there.
3 wide receivers left. Randy Jordan is the lone setback. Have to get to the 31 for a first down, and they do, and more. It's a first down. Brown down to the 21-yard line. Jimmy Brown is closing in on 10,000 receiving yards in his career.
The weak side. See, that's the weak side of the formation. They got 3 on the other side. Now watch the slant inside here. And go. And that they're seeing in between the safety coming over and the corner. There's enough of a crease there. That's the second slant play to Brown. We saw one on the other side earlier in their last drive.
16 receptions already this season for Tim Brown. Kaufman and Ritchie in the backfield. First down at the Bears 21. Kaufman bouncing it outside. Flags fly. Kaufman brought down at the 20-yard line by Walt Harris. Walt Harris playing with a slight groin strain. It's a holding call on the Raiders. Duran, boy, it's a real contrast in styles. The intensity of John Gruden in the animation.
Holding. Offense, number 79, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Calm demeanor of Dick Duran on the Bears sideline.
Both those guys know each other, too. They were together up in Green Bay, both assistant coaches. Each one of them fond of one another, too. They really respect each other's ability and knowledge of the game.
2 tight ends in for the Raiders as they move back to the 31-yard line. It's 1st and 20. Tyrone Wheatley and John Ritchie in the backfield. Raiders with 2 tight ends in. And that's Jeremy Brigham in motion. Gannon in trouble. Down he goes. 8th sack of the season for the Bears. Time for an NFL update. Back to the Fox Television Center to JB.
Sam and Bill. This is what you see here, the Leroy Horde 2-yard scamper into pay dirt. That came after Minnesota got stuffed 3 consecutive times at the 1. A penalty gave them a fresh set of downs, and they capitalized. Sam and Bill.
Thanks, JB. Good start to the game for the Vikings.
Minnesota has that big back attack, too. You know, they know they got their specialists, so they bring Leroy Horde in. The Raiders are loving Tyrone Wheatley here.
That last sack credit to Shane Burton. Gannon completes to Terry Mickens to the 20-yard line. Mickens getting a lot of time as the number 3 receiver.
Watch the slant to this side. See, they occupy this man right here with him, and outside here, they run the slant. They're finding ways to create separations in the slant. Now, what a well-thrown ball by Gannon.
For a first down. Randy Jordan and John Ritchie in the backfield. Gannon throws for the end zone. Touchdown! Tim Brown! A perfectly thrown pass by Rich Gannon. And Tim Brown with his 4th reception of the game.
You can't get much more accurate than that pass right there. Blanket coverage by Walt Harris on Tim Brown on the outside, and Richie Gunningham with dart.
20-yard touchdown pass, Gannon to Brown. Michael Husted for the extra point. And it's through. So the Raiders recover a Bears fumble and march 41 yards for the touchdown. Gannon finds the all-time leading receiver of the Raiders, Tim Brown, for the TD.
separations. Mickens right here is going to come down the middle, freeze the safety, so the safety can't come over the top to help. You know, they say John Gruden stays up hours at night just trying to find a few inches of separation. There's one there. And we've seen it thus far a few times now in the slant plays.
Michael Husted, there's that play again. Here's Husted kicking off to Glenn Milburn. 1 yard deep. Milburn finds a seam and breaks it big. Milburn, they go all the way. Husted chasing him. Calvin Branch pushes him out of bounds and saves a touchdown. What a top kick returner in the NFC. Glenn Milburn breaks one to the 9-yard line of Oakland.
What an effort by Calvin Branch. All the way from the other side of the field, Sam.
And look at Milburn find the seam and just break it.
He sets this thing up. We'll see how he gets the team going that way, and then cuts it back. That's all great returners set their own blocks. The guys up front to block, but they have to set up their seams.
93-yard return for Glenn Milburn. First and goal for the Bears at the 9-yard line. Alonzo Mays in motion. Flags go down. It'll be against the Bears. False start.
Sure is. The tight end John Allred moved early.
Well, we talked about Glenn Milburn being a weapon, and with his speed, when he gets his hands on the ball,
he's a threat anytime.
Big playmaker.
And when you have a guy that's a big playmaker like that, you have to get him some touches on the ball.
Offense, 84.
You can't just limit him to just punt returns or kick returns. Watch him set this up. He gets everybody going this way, then bang, he comes out the back. They all do it. All the good ones that bust those ones open, they find a way to create their own seams.
First and goal at the 14. Two tight ends in off the play fake. Matthews in trouble. It off. And John Allred, the tight end, pushes forward to about the 11-yard line before the Raiders pull him back. And after the whistle, we've got some pushing, shoving. Big Cat Williams is there. He's upset with somebody.
Yeah, Lance Johnstone was pulling Big Cat off the pile. And I know what it's like. You get in those playing those Raiders games, and you play at their home stadium, and there's just something there. There's that black, that silver, the crazy fans. You just feel the urge to want to fight.
It's not a sellout crowd. They haven't had a sellout crowd since the opening day of the 1997 season here in Oakland, but it's a loud crowd. Second down for the Bears at the 11. Empty backfield. Matthews to the end zone. Touchdown! Curtis Conway with a beautiful catch. And the Bears answer right back. The two offensive weapons, Conway and Milburn, produce. Milburn with a big return. Conway with a beautiful touchdown catch.
You know, Dick Duran said, we're still feeling it. I think in that last series, there's two guys they can depend on all the time.
Jeff Jager for the extra point. And the game is tied. Curtis Conway's first touchdown reception of the season. Matthews got time. Conway with a beautiful grab. The game is tied. The Bears punter, who doubles as the kickoff man, set to kick off to Calvin Branch or Randy Jordan. It's Jordan, his fourth return of the season. And he falls forward to about the 24-yard line. 2:58 to go, first quarter. Raiders scored first. Bears have come back to tie it. Chance to start for records at the University of Florida. From the 24, Rich Gannon fakes the handoff, gets plenty of time, goes outside, the flag comes down, incomplete pass. The pass intended for Napoleon Kaufman, and another holding call on the Raiders.
Yeah,
third holding.
That's the third. Mo Collins had two of them. I think this is going to be to the front side of the play on the right side of the offensive line.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's Steve Wisniewski, the left guard, who's called for the hold. Tim Brown in motion. Kaufman is stopped. Good play in the backfield. Nice tackle by Tony Parrish, who was blitzing on the play.
Yeah, well, they have him up around the line of scrimmage. Talking to defense coordinator Greg Blosh, this is where they want him. They want this guy active, up around the line of scrimmage. He's a strong guy, a fast guy, a guy that can make plays up there. Not that his coverage is bad downfield, but he's just a guy, he's like an extra back up there. You need to blow up the run, or you need to get after the quarterback. That's the guy you want around the line of scrimmage. A lot like Leroy Butler.
Kaufman and Ritchie in the backfield. Ball back at the 12-yard line. Have to get to the 34 for first down. Gannon stumbled and gets rid of it and completes. Up across the 20.
There was
Tony Kaufman out of the backfield, makes the reception.
There was Tony.
3rd and 12. Randy Jordan and John Ritchie in the backfield. Gannon completes to James Jett for a first down up at the 35-yard line. Needed 12, got 13.
That was Tom Carter out there. And Tom Carter's had a strained calf. Look at the distance he's playing off. Didn't practice much. You see him get turned around when he got turned around there?
James Jett, 7th-year man out of West Virginia with good speed. Makes the reception, give him 14 on the reception. Wheatley and Ritchie in the backfield. That's Tim Brown in motion. Flag goes down. Tyrone Wheatley carries, gets about 3 on the play. It's against the Bears.
You know, underneath him. It's completely different than when you're on the grass. Then you come in and you line up. It slips underneath you.
They split one of the running backs, Randy Jordan, out to the left. Gannon with everybody out. Oh, what a hit. It's incomplete. Tony Parrish with a huge hit on Tim Brown.
That's a playmaker. That's where number 37 is, Parrish. He's a playmaker on the defensive side of the ball. One more step and that would have been a completed pass, and that would have been a fumble.
It'll be 2nd and 5. That's the first incompletion for Rich Gannon. He had been 7 for 7. Ball at the Oakland 41. Wheatley and Ritchie in the backfield. That's Wheatley in motion. The blitz is on. Chris Hudson got a piece, and the Bears stuffed the run. Actually a loss of a yard on the play. Chris Hudson was blitzing from his to Bears fumble. Marched 41 yards for a touchdown. The Bears answered back after the long kickoff return. A beautiful pass to Curtis Conway. 7-7 the score. Ambrose and Bill Mazdan Jiggets in Oakland, where the Bears and the Raiders are tied at 7. Each team 1-1 on the season. Raiders losing a tough one in Green Bay, coming back with a big win, maybe their biggest in years, at Minnesota last week. The Bears opened up with a win over Kansas City and a tough loss in the 4th quarter to Seattle last week. Here's 3rd and 6 for the Raiders. 3 for 3 on 3rd downs. Gannon sends everybody out, and it's broken up. And a flag comes in. Tom Carter with the play.
This is at the backside of the formation too. This isn't even on Tom Carter.
It's a holding call against the Bears.
Holding. Defense. Number 21. 5-yard automatic first down.
It's against Terry Cousin.
Yeah, that's the backside. This is all the way over here.
And Cousin holding on to Tim Brown. 2 tight ends in for the Raiders. They get a first down at their 45. So again, the penalties continue to plague the Bears. Napoleon Kaufman in the backfield carries. Nice hold. Kaufman breaking tackles as he falls forward to the Bears' 36-yard line. Barry Minter finally brought him down. He had only 11 carries last week. They want to get him the ball more.
Well, this play's supposed to come over here. But the one thing he's really good at is seeing daylight. He knows the hole's going to cut to the backside. See it involving right there? There it is. There's the gap. There's the hole. That's what Howie Long was talking about in the pregame show about the backside tackles. The new blocking rules, you can't cut them anymore. So the holes are opening up on the backside.
Ricky Dudley, tight end to the right side for Oakland. First down at the Bears 37, an 18-yard run for Napoleon Kaufman. He tries again. He was stuffed. He breaks and gets about a yard on the play. Donald, number 54, made the tackle. Second year with the Bears after playing with Cincinnati.
The Oakland Raiders offense is really, they've come together. They're understanding John Gruden's system. This guy, Richie Gannon, is really, he called him the juice. He says he has juice. He says you have to be around Rich Gannon to know what juice is.
And he liked him because he's a Philadelphia guy and is mentally tough. His 12th year in the league. Gannon says everybody out. The pass deflected. Big hand got up there. Might have been Mike Wells.
Sure was. And that's why I like Rich Gannon too, by the way.
Philadelphia guy.
Philadelphia guy. Mike Wells, 97. What they want to do is they want to keep Rich in the pocket. I want you to watch the rushes outside here and through the middle. 97 is right here. He's going to get his hands up. But see how they've got the pocket in here? They want to keep him in there. You don't want to get your ends up field wide and have Rich Gannon dart underneath you because he's so much more effective as a quarterback and so much more dangerous when he's scrambled.
Have to get to the 27 for a first down. Gannon short drop, throws and completes to Jet. First down Raiders at the Bears 21. Raiders continue to pick up the first downs.
Again, it's the slant play, and it's Terry Mickens who helps create this little scene. Watch Terry Mickens right in here. He's going to come out and go out here. See him take the corner with him, and then there's the slant play. John Gruden, notorious around the league about finding inches to get separation.
First down at the Bears 21-yard line. Tyrone Wheatley following John Ritchie's block. It's inside the 20, pick him up about 2 on the play. Tyrone Wheatley, former star at Michigan. Didn't work out, a former first-round draft pick of the Giants.
And they come right back off the pass that John Gruden's known for, being from Green Bay, and the same things he ran in Philadelphia. And they line up with a tight end, fullback, and Wheatley, and they'll pound you. And they have the ability to pound you now with Wheatley. That's a new dimension for the Raiders that they didn't have last year.
11th play of this drive for the Raiders. Ball just inside the Bears 30-yard line. Play fake. Gannon dumps it off. Wheatley down to the 12-yard line. Sean Harris made the stop. About a yard short of a first down.
Sam, last week I counted about 6 or 7 times that Rich Gannon made a pass when I don't think last year it would have been. Watch him move in the pocket, stepping up into the pocket and buying himself some more time and able to find his receivers. Last week in the second half, particularly against Minnesota, he was had 4 or 5 times, and he made something out of nothing. Last year, it would have been 10, 15-yard loss for him.
Randy Jordan and John Ritchie in the backfield on 3rd and 1. Jordan, first down inside the 10-yard line. The 3rd down back, Randy Jordan going straight ahead.
And that's some of the power. They ran at you downhill. But last week, this is what I was talking about the second half. Randall has him there. Eddie McDaniel almost has him there. And he's buying himself time jumping and juking and running around and completing passes. There is Robert Griffin. And then he takes it on his own into the end zone on the draw. I mean, to me, that's the biggest thing there is Rich Gannon this offseason.
On 1st and goal, Napoleon Kaufman lost the football. And it looks like the Bears have it. They do. Second fumble recovery for the Bears. Big turnover. Mike Wells with a fumble recovery. And I believe Van Tuene, the backup defensive end, caused this fumble.
Right here, he gets a hand on there, gets a tackle, and Wells is around the ball.
Back in Oakland, where the Bears are on offense from their own 11. Curtis Enos and Ty Halleck in the backfield. Shane Matthews, 7 of 9, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. But Cade McNown has come into the game, his first series, and the throw is high, intended for Bobby Ingram. This is part of the regular plan to bring Cade McNown along, the first-round draft pick of the Bears. A left-handed quarterback out of UCLA. Played only 3 plays last week. They want to get him a little more time this week.
We see him throw the ball. He throws it off bounds. See his feet down here? And, yeah, about the 3rd or 4th series of the first couple games, they get him into the mix. Because they don't want a situation where later on in the season, if something were to happen to their quarterback, Shane Matthews, that they'd have to play Cade without ever getting any snaps at all.
He was 6 for 9 in week 1, 77 yards against Kansas City. Checking off here. 1 for 2 last week. Enos. Flag goes down in the backfield. Going to be against the Bears for holding. Darrell Russell made the stop. 6th penalty of the game already for the Chicago Bears, who had 13 last week.
Holding. Offense. Number 84. Half the distance to the goal line. Repeat, second down.
It's John Allred, the tight end.
He's on the outside here. He's going to get a grab on Lance Johnstone, number 51. He has his hands outside, and then he's just going to pull him down. Lunging at him. And throwing his hands outside the frameworks of the body.
Ball set back at the 6-yard line. It's second down. Bears have to get across the 21-yard line for a first down.
I love this area of the field defensively. When you have the offense pinned back against their old goal line.
McNown working against the Raiders and the noise from the fans. Ty Halleck, the fullback, is stopped at the 8-yard line. Shoved back. Now, how tough is that, Bill, for a rookie quarterback having to deal with all that noise right behind him from the fans?
Oh,
real
yeah.
close.
Yeah, and had to be pinned back like that. I mean, you really feel like you're pinned down there. And it seems like going downhill for the defense. When you have them against their goal line, it's as if you're running down a hill. You're just lined up there as a defensive lineman. You're ready to roll forward.
Forward progress to the 9-yard line. Have to get across the 21 for a first down. There's 4 wide receivers in. Raiders counter with 6 defensive backs. And it looked like the snap came a little quickly. I don't think McNown was expecting it. It's going to be a penalty on the play.
Before the snap, ball start, offense, 79. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
That's the rookie Jerry Wisney making his first NFL start, with the starting left tackle Blake Brockemeyer out with the atypical migraine headaches. Wisney, who was a guard at Notre Dame, is starting at left tackle. 7 penalties for the Bears.
You can see Cade. He had his hands on his ears trying to call. It's so loud back there. The call's coming through the headset, and Cade had to cover up his ears because the crowd noise was so loud. That's what Jerry Wisney was dealing with, and he couldn't hear the cadence.
It's 3rd and 17. Milburn's in the backfield for the Bears. McNabb looking, throwing, and completing for a first down. Big pass as he completes to Macy Brooks. That's a beautiful pass by Cade McNown.
Big pass and a big target in Macy Brooks. Macy Brooks is 6'5", 218 pounds. And everybody's looking for the Randy Moss prototype. Yeah, that's exactly right. And he gets on the outside shoulder there of Woodson, and Woodson was looking back at the quarterback, looking back to see if his defensive line was getting pressure. He didn't see Macy. Macy just kept running the sideline.
He was an outfielder drafted by Major League Baseball teams. This is Curtis Enos. And the Bears, who had 0 yardage net on the ground, picked up some yardage here and a good run by Curtis Enos. The middle linebacker, Greg Beaker, made the tackle for the Raiders. That pickup, by the way, the pass to Macy Brooks for 30 yards.
It was nice composure by the rookie McNown. Back there, you know, in that hostile environment, you're backed up on the goal line. He stayed in the pocket nicely, just floated that ball out perfect.
2 tight ends in for the Bears. 2nd and 2. 43-yard line. Enos with power gets up to the 45. Looks like he's got enough for a first down. Eric Turner, number 29, made the tackle.
Yeah, they had Ty Halleck, that time fullback. They had a blitz on to try to blow up the run. I want you to take a look at. Here's Halleck, the fullback, and watch him come in. There's going to be a blitz right in here. There's Ken Harvey, and there's the pickup, and there's the seam. Rich Harvey was in the backfield at the snap of the ball. Halleck had to make an adjustment to go over there to get a body on him.
First down, Bears at the 45. Alonzo Mays in motion. Play fake, trouble, and Johnstone almost had him. He got away. This is what McNown does so well, but finally they bury him. McNown, elusive, great running ability, got away from the first try by Lance Johnstone, but they finally got him back to the 38-yard line.
It was Johnstone that got up off the ground and came and got him again. Johnstone has him wrapped up here, and a lot of times you get too high. You see he's high up on the shoulder and a little duck forward, and you fall off him. But Johnstone stays after it. You know what? To the surprise of the receivers, they thought he was down. I saw a couple of the receivers for the Bears just happen to stop out there, thought he was down.
Johnstone led the Raiders in sacks last season with 11. 4 wide receivers in for the Bears. They have to get to the Raiders' 45. Blitz coming. McNown gets rid of it deep. Incomplete. Intended for Bobby Ingram. McNown showing a strong arm and some good poise back there. At that time overthrew Ingram. The blitz by the Raiders came from way back. And I think the Bears did a good job picking it up. 3rd and 17 coming.
Here comes Eric Turner. That's the late blitz. Watch him jump. Oh, he tries to go up and over Olin Cruz.
Cruz said nothing doing. He just lifted him up. Bears are 3 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. Have to get to the Raiders' 45 for a first down. Flag stops the play. Yet another penalty.
Before the ball was snapped, ball start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
That's the rookie Jerry Wisney again. 8th penalty of the game for the Bears. 6:34 to go, 2nd quarter. I think it's 6:32.
That's quite a learning experience. That's a tough job for a veteran left tackle or right tackle when you go on the road and it's 3rd down and the crowd's real noisy and you're in shotgun and the guys behind you call it. It's tough out there, let alone being a rookie. Never playing tackle. He was a guard. They didn't move him over there so Jimmy Herndon got hurt in the 4th preseason game. Then they broke camp and they came back and they said, well, we need some depth out there. So they started working in Wisney, thinking there might be some time they need him to play one of the tackle spots, and then Blake Brockermeyer goes down with a migraine.
Brockermeyer feeling better, will be checked out early this week to determine if he'll be able to come back next week. Atypical migraine headaches forced him out of the game last week against Seattle. 3rd and 22 for the Bears. They have 4 wide receivers in. Curtis Enos in the backfield. McNown gets time, dumps it off to Enos. And he's brought down at the 38-yard line. Kurt, the middle linebacker, led the Raiders in tackles last season with 146, made the stop. And Todd Sauerbrunn will come on to punt. First punt of the game. Darian Gordon, the NFL's all-time leader in return yardage, averaging over 13 yards per return in his career.
You want to directional kick these things. You don't want to kick straight down to Darian Gordon.
Good high kick. Gordon coming toward the sideline. Takes it at the 13. Bears have it covered. Good job by the Chicago Bears. Looked like Ty Halleck, the first man down to make the tackle after a 48-yard punt. Recently increased its blimp to 7, adding 2 airships in Europe, 1 in South America, 1 in Australia, and Bill will probably be flying on those if he can.
Well, sure. You know, blimp food's better than airplane food. It is.
How about the outfits here? Oh, the Raider fans.
Is it great?
Unbelievable.
That's all about 7 Howie Longs here.
Had a great pep rally on Friday with over 7,000 people showing up. Tyrone Wheatley going outside. There's a flag down in the back. Going to bring it back for holding. Update from the NFL Fox Studios to JB.
Sam and Bill. Packers 3 corners drafted. DBs paid dividends here. Antoine Edwards picks off a pass intended for Randy Moss. 3 guys around him. Pay dirt and 7. Green Bay back to Sam and Bill.
Thanks, JB. Packers coming back. Big play.
You know, Ron Wolf vowed that would never happen again. What happened on Monday night last year when Minnesota went to Green Bay and lit up that secondary? When they drafted those top 3 choices, all DBs.
Raiders called for holding. The right guard Gennaro DiNapoli called for the hold. Ball back at the 8-yard line. So first down for Oakland. Game tied at 7. Everybody out. Gannon over the middle to the fullback John Rich, and he's stopped by Sean Harris, who's having a strong game. Harris, the leading tackler on the Bears. 5th-year man out of Arizona. Moved into the middle and has been a force for the Bears.
Ed Hockley sure isn't letting the offensive line, either one of these guys, get away with their hands outside today. I mean, he came in and they're looking for the holding calls. They're going to make a statement. And they want these offensive linemen to get their hands inside the frameworks, not outside on the shoulder pads.
Randy Jordan, the lone setback for Oakland. Ball at the 11-yard line. Dumps it off to Jordan. He got a couple of blockers, but he stopped. Barry Minter got there and wrapped him up. Good tackle by Barry Minter.
Well, he read this all the way. This is a screenplay. They set this up, and they let the defensive lineman get upfield. Watch Minter. Here he is. Here he sees this the whole time, and he gets through the offensive lineman. The speed and quickness he has. That's why they wanted him playing the will backer position, the weak side position.
A substitute teacher, man who'd like to be a high school athletic director when he's done, going for his master's at DePaul University. Strong play. Ball's at the 15. They've got to get to the 26 for a first down. Gannon completes. Randy Jordan up across the 25 to the 29. There's a flag down on the play. We'll check it out. It's enough for a first down. And it's against the Raiders. Offensive pass interference.
Pass interference, offense, number 82, half the distance to the goal. Repeat, 3rd down.
That's James Jett. And that is penalty number 5 on the Oakland Raiders.
Well, it can only be a couple things. And one, if the DB has established his ground, you can't run into him. If he is there and he has established his territory, you cannot run through him.
So that's a big penalty, which negates what would have been a Raiders first down. The ball is back at the 7-yard line.
That's the offensive pass interference. That and pushing off real hard are the things that are, anytime you see a pass interference called on offense, they either ran over a DB who's declared his territory or they pushed off of someone.
Have to get to the 26 for a first down. The shovel pass, which was picked up on a bounce by Randy Jordan. Dangerous play by Rich Gannon. Got away with it. It's an incomplete pass. And it'll be a punt for the first time for the Oakland Raiders.
See Rich drop back and watch. He's going to flip this up. He's going to pull him Kaufman, and it's just outside of his outstretched arms. That's Randy Jordan.
Leo Aragu's first punt of the game. He is just inside the end line. Glenn Milburn is standing back at his own 48. Low snap. Aragus gets it away. Here comes Milburn. He lets it go. Takes a Bears bounce. They'll have excellent field position inside the Raiders' 40-yard line. 3:11 to go Central, and the Mets and the Reds battling for the wild card spot. And Mark McGwire hit number 60 today. Shane Matthews back in the lineup for Chicago, handing to Curtis Enos, gets a couple of yards, and a late flag is thrown.
We've been a lot of flags.
Yep.
A lot of penalty flags in this game.
8 penalties on the Bears, 5 on the Raiders. There's a holding call against Chicago, number 9 for the Bears. Oh, and that's just got to be driving Dick Geron crazy.
Holding, offense, number 81, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Bobby Ingram, the man called for the hold. So the Bears move back 10 yards. Holding Charles Woodson on the play.
You got to let that go. To me, that's playing.
Yeah?
Yeah. You mean
that call?
wide receivers out there pushing and shoving on the cornerbacks. That's not that big. You just get out there and let them play.
Even if the guy had a shot at making the tackle?
He didn't have a shot at making it.
A little over 3 minutes remaining. Penalties. 14 combined first downs, 14 penalties in the game. Out of the shotgun, Matthews gets rid of it to Conway. Nice move. Gets down to the Raiders' 36-yard line. And some pushing and shoving after the play. Lance Johnstone made the tackle. 12-yard pickup for the Bears.
You know, this offensive line for the Bears must really like the fast stuff, you know, because heck, they got to line up and they've got to hold their block for about 1.5 to 2 seconds at the most, and that ball's out.
Enos taking it outside, gets a couple on the play, now to the 34-yard line. Bring up a 3rd down for the Bears.
You know, the old days where the offensive linemen used to have to set step and jet back and pass protect on 5- and 7-step drops. They have to match up with some speedy guys. And these guys just fire out now. They pop. Gone.
2-minute warning. Game tied at 7. And now any replay challenges are in the hands of the officials. The last 2 minutes of the half. The officials upstairs are in charge of any replays. Get to the 28 for a first down. Matthews, the pass deflected. Incomplete. Jeff Jager will try a long field goal. Just coming back from a hip injury. This is going to be about a 52-yarder. Maybe 51.
You see him messing with that dirt. He missed the last time he lined up or kicking on dirt. And he's had that hip injury in his plant foot.
Sauerbrunn holds. It'll be a 52-yard.
Keep an eye on his plant foot.
The kick is good. A beauty. Jeff Jager returns and kicks a 52-yarder. And the Bears have taken the lead for the first time. It's 10-7.
You need a good snap because you don't want to have to spin the laces on the ball. See, he didn't have to spin that. That was a perfect snap. If you set to spin the laces on the ball on dirt, that's kind of like spinning it on linoleum. It'll just keep rotating around on you.
And there's Patrick Manley, the snapper. Good job. Good hold by Sauerbrunn. And Jeff Jager, the one-time Oakland Raider. The next on a 52-yarder.
You see where he has the ball? He makes sure that ball's teed up on the grass side of the 30-yard line.
Sauerbrunn kick off. Calvin Branch and Randy Jordan are deep, coming down to Jordan at the 2. Breaks a tackle, and then he's tripped up, lost the football. And the Bears say they've got it. Let's see what the officials say. The Raiders are hoping it was down. And Ed Hockley says Bears have it. 3rd fumble of the game for the Raiders. 3rd fumble they've lost. The Bears take over deep in Raiders territory.
This may go upstairs. They may take a look at this upstairs. Ball's out. Yeah, the ball is out.
2nd fumble of the game for Randy Jordan. Tripped up, and the ball's coming out.
Reviewing the ruling on the field.
Yeah, that happened awful fast. That's the right thing to do.
Again, in the final 2 minutes of the half, final 2 minutes of regulation time of the game, and in all of overtime, the review belongs to the officials upstairs. Ed Hockley will now go over to the monitor. And as soon as he starts viewing the replays, the clock will start. He has 90 seconds once he starts viewing them.
Well, if he's going to take a look at the angles that we saw, which I'm sure he is, see this one right here. I'll see the ball out.
Tripped over his own man on the play.
I think this is a better angle of it. You can see the ball popping out here before he goes down, before anybody touches him down.
And Ed Hockley is returned quickly to announce his decision. Well, the conference first.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. The ball was loose before the runner was down. Chicago's ball, first down.
Third turnover.
You know, I think
for the Raiders.
I think that's like the old, courtroom in him. You know,
Yeah.
see how he ran out there? He's an attorney. He ran out there, and when you come out quick, it's like a jury. When the jury comes back quick, they know right away what it is. You know, they
You're
come
right.
back quick, it's going to be a guilty. And if they take their time and they're in there, well, they'll probably be overturned. He came out there quick.
Ty Halleck was the man who recovered the fumble. Bears have 4 wide receivers in. Enos carrying on first down from the 30. Pushes the pile down close to the 25-yard line. They'll spot it at the 26, pick up a 4 on the play. Each team with their full complement of timeouts. Hurry up offense for the Bears. No huddle. Clock running a minute 25. Matthews with time, he throws deep. Nobody there. It's almost intercepted by Eric Allen. The intended receiver, Marcus Robinson, stopped. Allen have to get just across the 20 for a first down. And the Bears were calling for timeout just as the ball was snapped. And the timeout was granted.
You know who did it?
3 wide receivers for the Bears. Matthews. Intercepted by Darian Gordon. Breaks 1 tackle. And finally is ridden down by Chris Valerio. Darian Gordon, who starred in the Super Bowl for the Denver Broncos, picks off the pass of Shane Matthews. First NFL interception that Matthews has thrown.
Watch him read this slant. He reads this thing all the way and just steps right in front.
7 remaining in the first half. Gannon with 4 wide receivers, everybody out, completes to Tim Brown. Brown inside the Bears 35. Yankees. Gannon being rushed, and down he goes, and that's a big sack. 5 seconds remaining. Gannon sends everybody out. Intended for Tim Brown, who was a little behind him. The 24 for a first down. Flushed out, Gannon looking, throwing back across, deflected and caught by Tim Brown at the 24-yard line. Gannon spikes it and stops the clock, saving Wheatley and Ritchie in the backfield. Everybody out. Gannon running for it. Tripped up, spinning away, goes down to the 12-yard line. Roosevelt Colvin made the tackle. Gannon. Short drop, throwing for the corner, throws it away.
The wherewithal and the bravado to make something out of nothing.
On second down, Gannon throws over the middle, touchdown! Ricky Dudley, the tight end, with a leaping grab. The Raiders cash in off the interception by Darian Gordon and march in to regain the lead. The Raiders have the lead. Back, Husted with the extra point. Ricky Dudley with the reception for the touchdown. The Raiders lead 14-10.
There's Ricky Dudley. Watch him working the seam. Takes it up and then comes back inside. And there's nobody right there. Perfectly thrown ball. Just at the right height.
To touch the ball, I don't think. Husted with a low-line drive.
The old squib kick.
It's Edgar Bennett on the return up to the 39. There's a flag down on the play. walked off. They had the lead for a while, but the interception led to the Raiders touchdown at halftime. Raiders 14, Bears 10. Visa halftime report coming up in a moment.
You know, this first half seems like a lot of penalties. You guys should each have about 350 to 400 yards of offense if it wasn't for these penalties and turnovers.
Yeah, too many penalties, too many turnovers, and on defense, we can't get off the field on 3rd and long. 3 areas we got to tighten up, or we're in for a long day.
What exactly did he do on offense to come back in the second half?
We're going to keep playing. We got a good thing going. We just are shooting ourselves in our foot. We just got to tie up the details, and we got a chance.
Thanks, John.
And earlier, before Dan started talking with John Gruden, Curtis Enos bumps into the opposing head coach.
Yeah, well, you're walking both teams up the same tunnel. And no matter where you play the Raiders, you always walk up the same exact tunnel. I remember the LA Coliseum, we'd go up there. There'd be some fisticuffs going on up there, Sam.
All right, now, neither team has been able to come up with a running game, and Dan Jiggetts, when head coach Dick Duran of the Bears asked him about that. The Raiders, 35 yards. Both teams with a good passing game. Penalties have been a problem for both teams, and turnovers. Raiders have fumbled 3 times. Bears have 1 fumble lost and 1 interception.
You know what else, too, is that both defenses haven't really been able to get off the field on 3rd down. You know, there's only been 2 punts in this game so far.
That's right. It's in the second half in the first 2 games, so that's something to look for. Rich Gannon has had himself a good game. We'll see if John Gruden does what you talked about, Bill, maybe just sticking with one aspect of his offense.
To get something going.
Yeah,
to find what's working for you, go into halftime and get the plays that are working for you and go back to those. Create the little separations that you do and make things work, but they've tried a lot of different things.
Shane Matthews had a good first half. Did throw the 1 interception that hurt. Very costly late in the first half. Todd Sullivan run to kick off. Coming down to Randy Jordan at the 5. Excuse me, that's Napoleon Kaufman. And Kaufman gets up close to the 30-yard line. Napoleon Kaufman, his first kickoff return in 3 seasons. 2 years did not return at all. But after Randy Jordan fumbled the last kickoff return, here's Napoleon Kaufman returning.
Plus the fact that I think that you have to get him as well. You know, he's a guy that can give you a spark, just as Milburn can. That's why they're trying to work him into the offense more. Anytime a guy in the open field that has the ability of a Napoleon Kaufman or Milburn, you've got to get them out there and give them a shot to do it.
John Ritchie and Tyrone Wheatley in the backfield for the Raiders. Brown in motion. The other wide receiver is James Jett. Excuse me, it's Terry Mickens. The handoff to Wheatley, and he powers his way for about 5 yards. That's all power on the part of Tyrone Wheatley. Straight ahead.
And I think that's why when Wheatley, the addition of Wheatley, I think that's why you can afford to experiment with Napoleon Kaufman on kickoff. I don't think in the last 3 years you wanted him touching the ball. If anything were to happen to him, as a Jason Sehorn did, they had no one to go to. I think now with Napoleon, with Wheatley in there, they feel comfortable enough. Hey, we can start doing some other things.
Now Napoleon Kaufman in the backfield with John Ritchie on 2nd and 5. Matt Gannon swings it out to Kaufman, and he goes out of bounds up at the 46-yard line. A first down for the Raiders. Russell Davis chased him out.
You know, Gannon's a smart guy. You know, and not only does he bring everything to the team and with his courage, but he's a real smart guy. He's not going to kill you with football. He's not going to lose games for you. I want you to watch his progression in this read here with his check down. Look, he's looking here, then boom, he comes out to the backside and throws it right where Napoleon Kaufman can catch it, continue upfield. Never has to turn around.
On first down, it's Kaufman following DiNapoli, but he's chased down by Barry Minter from behind. Good play by the outside linebacker. Pickup of about 1.5 yards on the play.
You know, you talk about running the ball and how come you can't get it. Watch this backside pursuit by these guys here. Here's Wells in here. Minter's in there. Harris comes up and gets a piece of it from the corner spot. That's how come you can't get a run game going when you got backside pursuit like that.
Tyrone Wheatley back in on 2nd and 8. Gannon gets plenty of time. Nobody open. Now he throws incomplete. Intended for Tyrone Wheatley. Coverage on the play by the Bears.
They had a zone blitz on at that time, Sam. And they dropped Mike Wells out of the tackle spot. They drop. Watch Wells. He's going to come back. Watch this drop by a 300-pound. Look, he never turns hips. He just kind of waddles backwards. And look who he ends up covering. I want you to watch this great coverage he has on the umpire. He's got the umpire he's got him sealed there.
Now, could you have done better?
They got to turn those hips.
Oh, okay.
Flip those hips and go.
3rd and 8 for the Raiders. Gannon checking off. 3 wide receivers in. Short drop in the throw is tipped and incomplete.
Well, that's what was working for him in the first quarter, first drives. Was that slant? They did a thing. They created the separation there, and that was a rare drop ball.
Second punt of the game for the Raiders. Gannon comes off. Leo Araguz is deep. His first one was a short one from deep in his own end zone. Len Milburn, the big threat, is deep at his own 15-yard line.
Jimmy Brown dropped a few balls last week as well. 3 of them.
Raiders were guilty of 6 drops in that game against Minnesota. Araguz with a good kick, but it's going in the end zone for the touchback. And the Bears will have the ball on their own 20-yard line. Their first offensive possession of the second half after a 52-yard punt. To Oakland, a disturbing news story has just come over. Demetrius Underwood of the Miami Dolphins on an off week. Back where he went to college in East Lansing, Michigan, has suffered stab wounds and is in a hospital. No word on the seriousness of the injuries. We'll have further word a little later on, and of course the studio will be following that as well. Shane Matthews throws to Ryan Wetnight. The tight end is wrestled down. Lost the ball, but it was down at the 23-yard line. Short pickup on the play. Eric Turner in the tackle. So let's see how the Bears come out in the second half offensively, where they have been able to move the ball in the previous 2 games but not put points on the board.
Willie Shaw trying to match up with the personnel group. And you saw there as the guys were running on and off the field for Chicago. Willie Shaw's defensive coordinator trying to keep pace.
The toss to Curtis Enos. Short pickup as he's brought down up around the 27-yard line. Eric Turner made the tackle there. Enos carried 8 times for 17 yards in the first half. Last week he carried 25 times for 94 yards.
Here comes in the receiver. See, here comes in all the receivers over here, and then they have to match up on this. Now they have to bring in the extra safeties. There's Darian Gordon and Marquis Walker. And that's the matchup game, and that's a tough thing mentally on the sidelines. You have to stay. All your defensive players that are coming in and out have to stay right next to the coordinator.
It's 3rd and a long 2. Empty backfield. The pass batted down. James Harris, 6'6", 285. Got the big arms up and batted down the Matthews pass.
Well, I think both teams went in at the second half and said, hey, we have to start winning 3rd downs. There's the batted pass right there by Harris. But that's one of the areas. On 3rd down, get off. You got to get them off the field. Now we see the second punt of this half. That's as many as they've had in the game.
Sauerbrunn is deep to punt. Only his second of the game. Darian Gordon deep for Oakland. Good kick.
Boyle.
Gordon backpedals to the 11. Starts the other way, gets away from one man. And then he's buried up at the 16-yard line. There's a flag down back at the 30-yard line. A 61-yard punt for Todd Sauerbrunn.
A 61-yard punt by Todd Sauerbrunn. 6-yard turn.
And the penalty is against the Bears.
An eligible man downfield, leaving early before the kick. Boy, you talk about changing field position.
Remember, the kicking team, number 49, was illegally downfield before the ball was kicked. 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
That's Ty Halleck, the fullback, who's a good special teams player.
See him seeping through right here? He gets out there early. He's a good 8-9 yards downfield. You can't take off down there until that ball's punted.
Keith Armstrong, a holdover from the previous coaching staff. third year as special teams coach of the Bears. Sauerbrunn will try it again. 5 yards back.
You don't want to have to kick to this guy twice.
Especially after he went to the 61-yarder. With plenty of time, good high kick. Gordon at the 25. Starts to go, he lost the ball. And the Bears have it. Fourth fumble of the game for the Raiders. Roosevelt Colvin with the fumble recovery. So it turns into a plus for the Bears.
He starts off to the back of the infield here. Now, when he cuts it back upfield and here, an arm's going to come in. That's what knocked it out. Watch the arm come in right here.
Ty Halleck.
Yeah, that's the way to redeem yourself.
There you go. Halleck called on the penalty earlier. Strips the football. The Bears recover at the Raiders 35. 51-yard punt for Sauerbrunn. Enos the lone setback. Darrell Russell wrapped him up. And there's a flag down in the Raiders secondary. That's been kind of routine. And it's against the Bears.
Holding against
Penalties on the Bears in the game.
Look at the numbers there. They've been outscored 28-3.
Out of the shotgun on first down. The pressure on. The pass is caught but out of bounds. Almost intercepted by Charles Woodson. Second-year man out of Michigan, the former Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, this ball is poorly thrown because of the pressure here by 59, K.D. Williams.
Whew. KD, the former baggage carrier at Tampa International Airport.
That's KD.
They still remember him down there. What a story. Cut by
everybody.
Kansas City. Came over here and has won himself a starting job with the Raiders.
NFL Europe, Canadian Football League.
Second down. And timeout called by Matthews.
And Chicago's futures in the rookie McNown.
That's right. On 2nd and 20. Shane Matthews pass incomplete, a flag down. Looks like another holding penalty against tripping against the Bears. Well, that's one. At least they changed their penalty. 84 yards plus momentum. They're back on their own 45. 2nd and 30. Complete to Marcus Robinson. They get back 10, now 12 yards on the completion. Eric Allen on the tackle.
That's god awful.
They get to the 25 for a first down. Everybody out. Matthews over the middle, wide open. Bobby Ingram, and he's got the first down. Take it out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Bobby Ingram, who had a career year last year with 81 receptions, makes his first catch of the game.
Yeah, well, this shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen. Right here, your backer's got to get depth. Here's Ingram coming across the middle. Right here, your backer has to get deep.
Bears on a first down at the Raiders 14. Enos spinning. It's down to about the 11-yard line. Richard Harvey, number 52, on the tackle. Quick pitch outside to Conway. Stumbles, but gets inside the 5. There's a flag on the play. Is it going to be against Bobby Ingram? There's a holding coming up. I think it's Bobby Ingram. Another penalty for the Bears. 13. Matthews being rushed, dumps it off to Curtis Enos. Wide open, he goes to the goal line. He's touchdown Bears. Great play by Shane Matthews. Two men were bearing down on him, about to pound him, and he got rid of it at the last second to Curtis Enos, who took it.
Well, when you go 4 wide, you're not going to leave people inside. There's not enough bodies inside when they bring the blitz. Shane Matthews knew he's responsible for the blitzer. He held it to the last second until Enos turned around.
Jager for the extra point, and the Bears, no, there's a flag. All right, let's stop it right here.
Before the ball was snapped, ball starts, offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, correction, number 71, free kick.
Out there. From the 15, the kick by Jager is good. The Bears have the lead for the second time in the game. Todd Sauerbrunn to kick off. Napoleon Kaufman is deep. And Kaufman from the 5. Slips one man. Frankie Smith went and got him the second time. Good play by Frankie Smith on special teams for the Bears. Drops Kaufman at the 15.
Go 4 wide. You only have your 5 offensive linemen, and they come with the blitz. Here's Darian Gordon coming on this side. The blitz up top. He knows he's going to take a shot. Holds it to the last second to get it outside. That's a great play by Shane Matthews. And of course, anytime you score a touchdown in Oakland, you get the Raider Nation throwing stuff at you.
Well, you know what? Those may be your buddies. Look at this. Bill Moss telling the Raider fans before the game, I love you. I love you. I wish I had been a Raider. Look at
Hey, if you can't beat them.
2 tight ends in for the Raiders from their own 15. Good carry on the play by Tyrone Wheatley. Ran hard up the middle. Picked up about 8 on the play.
Get things going. They've left Chicago in this game.
Well, 4 fumbles have really hurt. Off the play fake, Gannon in trouble. Gets away from Wells, and here he goes. Big gainer for Rich Gannon. And finally out of bounds at the Bears' 38-yard line. What a run for Gannon. 39 yards.
That's the playmaker. That's what we saw last week in the Minnesota game, that he's capable of doing when things break down. He has the ability to make something happen, but he's always checking the pass first. When the pocket closes in around him, watch. He's still looking to throw the ball right here, and he says, well, I'm past the line of scrimmage. Watch him look back over his shoulder, this way, that way. He looks both ways. He questions his own speed.
Well, he's deciding whether to go to the sideline or not, or to get an extra 5 yards. He got the extra. Tim Brown in motion. Wheatley cuts it inside. It's down to the Bears' 36-yard line. And some pushing and shoving. Lincoln Kennedy. 2 tight ends. Raiders. Wheatley and Ritchie in the backfield. Brown comes in motion. Off the play fake. Gannon gets time. Gets rid of it. Completes to Jeremy Brigham, the tight end. Looks like he's got enough for a first down at the Bears' 28-yard line. Jeremy Brigham, 7-year man out of Washington, 6'6", 255.
And everyone says it's paid off immensely.
Brown in motion. It's a first down for the Raiders. Tyrone Wheatley. Flag down on the play.
Caught on Wisniewski's face mask. You know, they always try to aim it at the guy they're trying to throw the flag at. And they always try to hit you with it, let you know it's you. And Wisniewski that time had the flag just sit in his face mask.
Holding, offense, number 63, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
The 37-yard line. 5 defensive backs in for the Bears. Gannon dumps it off to John Ritchie out of the backfield. And he's brought down to the 28-yard line. Checked out by the medical staff. And here is second down for the Raiders. And 11. Pressure on Gannon. Knocked the ball loose. And the Bears have it.
Clyde Simmons off the backside. That's a fumble.
5 fumbles in the game for the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders, who had come into today's game with 7 takeaways, only 2 giveaways, have given the ball 5 times.
Well, take a look. Here's Clyde Simmons up the top, and they come with the blitz. They step inside, and Ritchie, the fullback, doesn't step out to pick up Simmons.
And Van Tuene involved in the play. He forced the fumble earlier. Great job by Simmons. The Bears coming up with big defensive plays. Go on offense from their own 25.
It's been the fumbles that have kept the Bears alive.
Edgar Bennett is in the lineup, along with Curtis Enis. Enis swings it outside. Eric Allen slows him down. And a flag comes in. Face mask. 3 flags down on the play. Brady Jackson made the tackle. And it's against the Raiders. Everybody out. Pass to Milburn. And he's wrestled down by Eric Turner. Short pickup of about 4 on the play.
That's the way you have to come up and wrap up. You know, they dump passes underneath. You know, they say they take what the defense is giving you. There's not a key guy to key on the offense. It's going everywhere.
Empty backfield. Curtis Enos is split out. Matthews calls a timeout. Second timeout of the second half for the Bears. Curtis Enos in the backfield for the Bears. Quick toss outside of Bobby Ingram. And he's got a first down in Raiders territory at the 48-yard line. Second catch of the game for Bobby Ingram. Curtis Enos, the lone setback. Matthews on first down to Enos. Weaves his way across the 45-yard line. Greg Biekert, the middle linebacker, made the tackle.
You know, Willie Shaw, defensive coordinator for the Raiders, talked about this offense. And he says, you know, they do a lot of things. There's Willie right to compete with him.
Curtis Conway is back in for the Bears. Matthews on second down, throwing and completing to Macy Brooks. A first down inside the 35-yard line. Third catch of the game for Macy Brooks.
You want to talk about using the field to your advantage? You see these guys matching up the personnel. Here, Katie Williams comes in. It's a first down, so they got big personnel coming in over here. So now you have to get your regular personnel to come in over here. And that's what they keep doing, back and forth, back and forth.
Lynn Milburn is in for the Bears. And he is split out to the right side. Empty backfield. Matthews with time, throws and completes to Milburn. Across the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. Boy, the Bears really spread it around. Different formations, different personnel. And they do a good job moving the ball down the field. If the penalties didn't slow them down, they'd be racking things up.
To kill themselves with penalties.
Bears leading late third quarter. Enos tried to cut back. Was brought down. Looked like Lance Johnstone got the first piece of him.
And he was down around the end.
Johnstone's not a big guy, but a good pass rusher. Just across the 25 for a first down. Third and a short 4. Empty backfield. Matthews gets time, throws incomplete. He threw it away. There was some heavy pressure.
Oh, Darrell Russell blew through there.
Sauerbrunn holding. It'll be a 46-yard attempt. And he hooked it wide. Second one. He's missed. Hooking it. Jaeger is 1 for 3. The Bears let important. Had plenty of leg, plenty of distance, but he hooked.
Gallons was doing the kicking, and he had that strained left hip on his plant foot. He's back this week, but not 100%. It's showing.
Play fake. Gannon steps up, swings it out to John Ritchie, the fullback. Slips one man and is ridden down across midfield. Barry Minter back in the game. Took him down, but the ball into Bears territory to the 48.
They say about Rich Gannon, Richie Gannon. Watch his arm motion here, Sam. Watch how the ball comes out. It comes out almost sidearm. He has to throw through the traffic. See, he has to find his own lanes. They actually practice that at camp. Gannon, John Gruden practices with his quarterbacks throwing in awkward positions off balance.
Again, the play fake, and over the middle, wide open. Is that a catch?
Wow.
A great grab by Ricky Dudley. What a catch by Dudley, reaching back one-handed.
Every time you mention Ricky Dudley, the next word that follows is athletic. Talk about how athletic he is. On that touchdown pass where he had to go up and turn around to catch it, and that one-handed snark right there. And that's the athleticism that everybody talks about with Dudley.
Pickup of 16 on the play. We've reached the end of the third quarter. Bears finally scored in the second half. They got a touchdown, but missed the field goal. Bears 17, Raiders 10 with Wheatley and Ritchie in the backfield. Terry Mickens in motion. Tyrone Wheatley leaped over one man. Here come the flags. Good run by Wheatley. But it's going to be called back on a holding penalty against the Raiders. 8th penalty of the game against the Raiders.
That was a nice move by Wheatley, too.
Real good move. $15 penalties on the Bears.
Number 76, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
8 penalties on the Raiders. Sorry, Bill.
Wisniewski and Mike Wells have been doing battle all day. They're lined up right across from each other. You talk about two guys that are powerful fellas, strong guys. I mean, they've been doing battle, hand-to-hand combat all afternoon.
Wisniewski's been here for a long time. 11 years.
I remember playing against him. He'll get after you.
Ball back at the 41-yard line. Wheatley the lone setback. On first down, Gannon to Tim Brown. His 700th career reception. He is 10th all-time in NFL history. Brown with a catch. Terry Cousin took him down. Gannon finds a way to get that ball out of there, doesn't he?
You have to find your throwing lane. See, look, he's trying to find his throwing lanes, and it was there, and you see the hand. It comes off to the side. I mean, that's what Gruden's talking about, and that's why he practices those things at camp, because you never know how you're going to have to find your seam through the trees.
They're showing blitz on second down. Gannon checking off. Short drop, and that one is dropped. Pass intended for James Jett. Third and long for the Raiders, who have to get to the Bears 22 for a first down. Raiders scored first in the game, took a 7-0 lead. Bears tied it. Bears took a 10-7 lead. Raiders scored late in the second quarter to take a 14-10 lead. And the Bears scored a touchdown in the third quarter. They lead it 17-14.
Look at Gannon's third down numbers. That's remarkable. He's going to have a tough time here.
The handoff inside. Tyrone Wheatley across the 30, but he'll be short of a first down. Terry Cousin made the tackle. I think he checked off at the line on that play, Bill.
Yeah, he wanted to run. He thought the blitz was coming, and he wanted to run to the blitz where it was coming. It looked like a zone blitz. That's what you like to do against it, because those things pop open at times. But as he called it, they bailed back off the line of scrimmage. The Bears did.
Michael Husted kicking on the infield dirt. Leo Araguz will hold. It'll be a 47-yard attempt. First field goal try of the game for Husted. He's got the leg. And he's accurate. 47-yard field goal from Michael Husted has tied the game. The Raiders on the Husted field goal have evened it at 17. Been providing these aerial pictures. 1999 is the 101st anniversary of Goodyear and the 74th for its blimp plate. The kickoff coming down to Milburn. Earlier in the game, he had a 93-yard return that set up a touchdown. Milburn breaks through. Here he goes again. There's a flag down behind him. Husted tried to get him. Finally, he's taken out of bounds at the Raiders 31, but there's a flag back at the 15-yard line, and it's holding against the Bears. Bears just continue to kill themselves.
By the receiving team, number 53 during the return. 10-yard penalty. Chicago's ball, first down.
Milburn, what a return man he is. 16th penalty of the game for the Chicago Bears. See if we can pick it up here.
Right there. Warwick Holdman.
Yep. So instead of being down at the Raiders 31, the Bears start on their own 7. And the Raiders fans are really getting into it. Three wide receivers in. Curtis Enis on first down. A little cut. They try to strip the ball. Good run by Enis. Held on to the ball. Got up to the 15-yard line.
That's some good power coming out when you're backed up in there. That's coming out, and that's the area I think defensively that you've got to attack. That's the same thing as being in your red zone. You have to be real aggressive down here. If you play conventional defense, you're going to get blocked. And if you got a power guy like Enis, they'll buy him some space.
Enis and Edgar Bennett in the backfield. Enis 14 carries, 37 yards. A loss on the play of about a yard. As the Raiders were coming hard on the inside.
Greg Beaker, man in the middle, 54, was right in there.
In the third quarter, there was a timeout call that originally we thought was charged to the Bears. We were told both teams called for a timeout, but the official heard the Raiders first, so they were charged. So each team has 2 timeouts remaining. Here's third and a long 3 for the Bears. Curtis Enis, the lone setback. Marcus Robinson in motion. Matthews gets time. Over the middle, it's dropped. Eric Allen on the coverage. The pass intended for Curtis Conway. It's a big play for the Raiders.
Take a look here and here. Watch these guys getting after it. They're trying to run the pick in here. You see those bodies flying at each other?
You think that should have been caught? I think he should have had that. I think Conway should have had it.
Eric Allen was all over him.
Darian Gordon is deep. Sauerbrunn with his third kick. Gordon backpedals to the 31. Outside return. He's got 10. And make it about 12 when Ty Halleck wrestles him down. With help from Frankie Smith. 55-yard punt, 13-yard return. Cousin filling in for Tom Carter, who's played a little bit, but his cousin has carried the load, and they've done a
nice job. Heck, yeah, I think if anything, Chicago's defense has been outstanding. It's been the other side of the ball for Chicago. The offense had all the penalties. The Raiders have given them an opportunity. Then a holding penalty on the special teams negated them 50 yards. Then you're forced to punt, and the Raiders have the short field now.
From their 43. Napoleon Kaufman and John Ritchie in the backfield. Everybody out. Gannon trying to get away, throws it and completes it to Ricky Dudley. And he gets up near midfield. A desperation toss by Rich Gannon, who never gave up on the play. Russell Davis had him.
I think that's the story of Rich Gannon. Resilient. It's been with him every place he's been. Finding a way. Did you talk about the arm motion? Did you see that arm motion? His head was down. His elbow was pointing one way. His wrist was pointing another.
And that mobility and his escapability has caused him to avoid 3 sacks today. Tyrone Wheatley across midfield. Looks like he's a little short. The first down marker. Will bring up third and about a yard for the Raiders.
You know, they're interjecting all these different parts of Wheatley. And he runs in there and they pound him. And they line up and they'll pound him again. Then they come back and do their pass stuff outside with the slants. And but you need to get more of him in there. And you need to use more stuff off of him.
Wheatley and Ritchie in the backfield. Third and a long yard. Mixon's in motion.
That's it.
Fake.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ritchie out of the backfield. Chased out of bounds by Tony Parrish. First down Raiders at the Bears 36.
Nice play call. You know, I saw them do the passing game, Sam, and then I see him come in with a power game, but I haven't seen the play action. Here's the play fake here. See Harris get sucked up the linebacker, and then they slide the ball outside to Richie in the flat. When you have a power game, use it. Use it to your advantage, not just with the aspect of running it, but then come off of it with things.
The Raiders have done some good things, but they've also killed themselves with 5 fumbles.
Yeah.
First down. Kaufman and Richie in the backfield. Napoleon Kaufman. Nothing there. The Bears have it covered. Kaufman falls forward for a 2-yard pickup. We talked about all the different receivers the Bears have used. The Raiders have completed passes to 9 different receivers. John Gruden, former offensive coordinator in Philadelphia, and couldn't the Eagles use him? They've missed him. No points this week.
No. And you know, really, Sam, what you're seeing this is, it's not really the West Coast offense, but it's this offensive philosophy spreading through the league of a high-tempo offense, distributing the ball around, keeping defenses off balance.
On second down, Gannon steps up, completes to Jeremy Brigham, the tight end, across the 30. Out of a first down, they'll spot it at the 29-yard line. But the passing game working for the Raiders.
Here's Brigham. Watch him on the drag route. Just come right behind the linebackers and settle down over here. Gets off the line of scrimmage and behind the linebackers. Here's the clearing out. Nice thrown ball again by Rich. He had Chris Hudson bearing down on his backside. He throws it on the front side.
Barry Sims in at left tackle for the Raiders as Mo Collins hurting, cramping up. Gannon throws and completes. Tim Brown, number 701, his 8th reception of the game. And the 30th 100-yard game of his career. There's Mo Collins, the left tackle, cramping up. And they worked on him on the sideline. Raiders have a first down at the Bears' 22-yard line. There's Barry Sims, who can play all the line positions. Tim Brown, 8 receptions, 102 yards. Wheatley, nice cutback with power. Almost broke it. Touchdown saving tackle by Walt Harris. Tyrone Wheatley. This is the best I've seen him run in years.
Well, you were in New York, Sam, and I've never seen him do this. I know you haven't. Watch, here's the front side. Now watch him come back in here off the backside. And that's what we're talking about. You see, the new blocking rules are not letting you block the backside tackle or the backside end. You can't cut him down.
First and goal for the Raiders inside the 9-yard line. 2 tight ends in the game. Wheatley at the top of the eye. Wheatley carries. Splits for a hole. Cuts back. Touchdown.
That entire drive was well executed. I don't care what style they were running.
They found the new hero here in Oakland, Tyrone Wheatley, the Michigan man. They have 6 Michigan players here. He feels comfortable around the situation here.
Well, he feels comfortable in black and silk because the black and silver will take you no matter how you fall down and how you crumble. They'll find a way to bring out the best in you. And they have with
Back and forth these teams go. Houston, the extra point is good, and the Raiders lead for the 3rd time in the game. Tyrone Wheatley. A touchdown run to give the Raiders the lead.
Fullback Richie, number 40. He gets the first kick-out block. Now watch 87, Jeremy Brigham. Watch the block he has on Harris outside, and Wheatley following his block. That's the whole team.
Houston's kickoff sends Burn 2 yards deep, and he brings it out. Looking for the opening. He's brought down up around the 24-yard line. Bill Byrne, who's had a 93-yard return in this game. Don't forget next week, the pregame. Curtis Enos and Ed Bennett in the backfield for the Bears, who now have to come from behind. Matthews swings it out to Enos, and he's thrown for a loss. Roosevelt make that K.D. Williams with a good tackle. That's the man, the first-year man out of Henderson College.
You know, and he was a guy, they loved his speed, they loved his energy, they loved everything about him except he was too much of a freelancer. He didn't play within the confines of the defense. They told him, they said, you play within the confines of the defense, you can have a chance to be a starter on this team. He did throughout the preseason.
On second down, Matthews complete to Ryan Wetnight. He's tripped up. Good tackle on the play by Marquise Walker. There's a flag down, and it's another tripping call against the Bears. 17th penalty of the game for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I think he defined it.
Tripping by the offense, number 71. The penalty is declined.
Yeah.
Brings up third down.
There's Big Cat 71.
Darrell Russell.
Oh, he tried to anyhow.
Yeah. Ball's at the 32, at the 22. They've got to get across the 34 for a first down. Raiders have 6 defensive backs in. Well, let's see what caused this penalty. Did Grady Jackson jump across, or was he drawn off?
Ball start. Offense. Number 79. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
The Bears' team record for penalties is 22. It was set back in 1944. They have 18 penalties today. Have to get to the 34-yard line for a first down. They're back at their own 17. Everybody out. Matthews throwing. Got a man. It's almost intercepted. Eric Turner stepped in front of Marcus Robinson and knocked it down and almost picked it off. So the Raiders, with help from the Bears penalties, stopped the Bears on the Bears' offensive thrust.
Yeah, Shane Matthews is forced to do something he doesn't want to do and have to go deep to get a first down. Eric Turner has to jump on this thing all the way.
5:22 to go, fourth quarter, with the Raiders leading. Darian Gordon is deep to receive Sauerbrun's 4th punt of the game. Almost blocked. Gordon lets it bounce. Bears down it at the 45-yard line. Good field position for the Raiders. Raiders have the lead and a chance to add to it after a 38-yard punt.
So it looks like Tyrell really might have a slightly bruised sternum. He got twisted when he was tackled down in the end zone. We'll see how that injury comes along.
Thanks, Dan. Here's that play.
Barry Minner fell right on him.
Yeah. Raiders have Napoleon Kaufman in the backfield. Here comes another flag. They still have Barry Sims at left tackle for Mo Collins.
False start. Number 72. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
9 penalties on the Raiders, 18 on the Bears.
You know, with Wheatley being out at this time of the game, 5 minutes, that's when you want to run your 4-minute offense. When you have the lead, you want to keep the lead and you want to pound and be able to do it like they did last week in Minnesota.
Correct myself, 17 penalties on the Bears. The last one declined. Brown in motion on 1st and 15. Kaufman brought down. Short pickup on the play. Mike Wells, number 97, made the stop. Bears have gotten a lot of good work from Shane Burton, number 94, has been playing for the injured Jim Flanagan. Flanagan is here, has played some plays, but he's got a bad hamstring. Burton, who was picked up on waivers late in preseason from Miami, getting a chance for extensive playing time. On second down, Brown in motion. Off the play fake, Gannon being rushed, and he completes it to Tim Brown. First down at the Bears 41. Walt Harris made the tackle. 9th reception of the game for Tim Brown. Big game.
Watch Tim Brown. All the way up to the right of the formation. He goes in motion, then comes across. Settles down right in here, move, and then flattens. And that little move was enough to get him separation from Walt Harris. Walt Harris had man coverage on him that time, and right out there, he waited till he got on the dirt, gave him that little move, froze Harris, and came across.
33 years old, his 12th year in the league, all with the Oakland Raiders, a first-round pick in 1988, and still playing at the top of his game. Trying to get outside, good tackle by Sean Harris. Took him down for a loss. Coming down to 3.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this is
timeouts remaining.
This is where the coaching staff likes to run the big guy. This is where Wheatley, this is where you'd like to have him in the game. Last week against Minnesota, he gained 61 of those yards in the 4-minute offense, preserving a win. You're chewing up the clock, you're getting first down, so you're doing it on the ground, knowing you're going against 8-man fronts.
Raiders have 2 tight ends in, Ritchie and Kaufman in the backfield. Kaufman, and he stopped. Mike Wells.
That's a huge play.
Oh, great play.
It's a huge play. It backs him up. 3rd down now.
It's Chicago. That's their second charge.
Sure.
It's a 30-second timeout.
Bears stop the clock. Greg Blosch, the defensive coordinator. Big play by Mike Wells. Slows down the Raiders. Tonight, it's Fox Seat.
No, I like this decision to take the timeout here. See Mike Wells going off, blood all over him. 7th tackle. That's a warrior. That guy will battle. But I like the decision to take a timeout right here, Sam. Just under 3 minutes to go. 3rd down, a huge 3rd down play. Greg Blosch wanted to think this over, make sure he makes the right decision, because this is going to, if they hold him here, they're going to be forced to punt out of field goal range and give them the opportunity to come back.
Raiders have to get to the Bears 31. Gannon gets time now. He's rushed and he's wrapped up by Clyde Simmons.
Has Clyde Simmons earned his pay today? Was he had 3 or 4 rushes? He's been in there and 3 sacks. 3 sacks.
Play, 2 big defensive plays by the Bears.
A needed big play too. This takes them out of field goal range. Watch him working here. Gets the hands, pushes them down. That's Sims in there. Now remember, Mo Collins is out because he had those cramps. Clyde Simmons, a veteran, using those hands. Offensive lineman hate.
The Bears have used their last timeout with 2:43 on the clock. They want to stop it. Give them some time with the ball.
I don't know why they'd want to take a timeout right.
Araguz with Milburn standing back at the 10. Araguz 3rd punt. He pooches it. It's high. Milburn for a fair catch. Has it on the 15. So with 2:36 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Chicago Bears will go on offense, trailing the Oakland Raiders 24-17. Raiders will go up to Seattle next week. But John Gruden has talked about winning on his home field. They were 4-4 at home last season. Well, they want to be more dominant this year.
In the home stadium too. Look at this stadium. That's the Raider Nation. Now it hasn't been a sellout for a long time, and you see the record since moving from LA. But also in the last 4 home games, John Gruden is 3-1. So it's catching on.
Milburn out of the backfield. Matthews completes to Bobby Ingram. Trying to get to the sideline. He's wrestled down at the 19. Pick up a 4 on the play. 3rd reception of the game for Bobby Ingram. No huddle for the Bears. They have 4 wide receivers in, plus Glenn Milburn, the speed back in the backfield. Everybody out. Matthews hit. Ball is loose. It's still Chicago ball. Lance Johnstone knocked it out of the hands of Shane Matthews.
Lance Johnstone, Tony Bryant was in there.
When you empty the backfield like that, you got to get rid of the ball quickly.
Well, you can't sit there like that because you know they're going to be coming at you. Here's Johnstone up top. Here's Bryant coming underneath. That's a nice swat for Johnstone. That's the wiry guy you were talking about. Use those wiry limbs to bat that ball out.
2 minutes to go.
Here, his head's up. He turns back. He sees the ball. Watch him dive amongst all the Raiders around him. At the bottom of that pile, he snags the.
The bad news for the Bears, their right tackle, Jim Big Cat Williams, went off limping. The rookie Rex Tucker, third-round draft pick out of Texas A&M, is in. Matthews under pressure, knocked loose again. They dive, it's still loose.
That was Tucker who got beat.
Raiders have it.
Yep, and it was
Raider
Tucker.
ball.
It was Tucker that just came in there.
Tony Bryant forced the fumble, and Darrell Russell recovered for Oakland.
Rookie against rookie. Tony Bryant on the outside of Rex Tucker.
Big time pressure. Oh, good play by Bryant. Second round pick out of Florida State, knocked it loose. Darrell Russell, the recovery. Third turnover for the Bears in the game. Second fumble they've lost. One interception as well.
Only fitting for the Raiders, as many times as they fumbled the ball away, that they clinch this game here on the fumbles of the Chicago Bears.
And they take a knee.
They made timeouts. Remember, Chicago used all their timeouts.
Cannot stop the clock. 5 turnovers for Oakland in the game, all fumbles. 3 turnovers for the Bears. And the Raiders just let the clock running down, a minute and a half and rolling. Today's game produced by Michael Burks, directed by Andy Kindle. Associate director is Rich Dewey. Broadcast associate Tom Yohe. Technical producer David Graham. Studio show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Gannon takes a knee as the Bears cannot stop the clock. Our thanks to our statistician Emmett McGuire, our spotter Gary Lynn. The Oakland Raiders will go 2-1. The Bears will be 1-2. Bears go home to play New Orleans. Raiders play a Sunday night game in Seattle, and Seattle had a huge win today in Pittsburgh, 29-10, and they're 2-1. One more time, Gannon goes to a knee, and they can celebrate in Oakland. The Raiders have won the home opener. The Raiders and Bears battling through mistakes, loads of penalties, turnovers. It was ugly.
Certainly ugly for Chicago, and they realize that they're a young team. The young coaching staff still trying to feel their way out. Their first away game, and it hurt them. The penalties hurt them, the mistakes hurt them. It cost them the football game.
Bears have now lost 2 games late in the fourth quarter, back-to-back. Tough losses.
Young team.
Yeah.
Young team with a new offense, a new defense, new head coach, new coordinators, the whole deal. And they're going to go through some growing pains like this. I like some of the things they're doing. They have a good nucleus, a good young bunch of guys, all pointing the same direction.
Oakland Raiders defeat the Chicago Bears 24-17. We'll be back here in Oakland right after these messages.